my friends? Welcome to today's YouTube video. So it looks like I'm in a studio. This is just my house. It is nighttime, so tonight, as you guys know, I have been dealing with some knee issues, some hip issues, some back issues, lots of bodily issues, but it's okay because I'm starting to find ways to work around it instead of just being frustrated or debilitated or just not training. And because training is what I love and it's what fuels me, it's what gets me excited about life and makes me feel like I'm on a high. And so I can't give up training, so I'm starting to learn ways to work around these issues I'm having while allowing them to still recover. So a big thing for me has been I have officially, almost officially, 90% officially given up hip thrusts. And I will explain that when we get to the gym. The other thing is that my knees, the inside of my knees has been hurting, so I've been trying to do everything I can to not aggravate that anymore and to fix everything that's attached to my knees, aka like my quads, my hip flexors, my hips, trying to open all that up because I think that's what's pulling on my knees and making it more painful. Long ramble short, let's get to the gym and train some legs. The past few days. It has made a very, very big difference. I saw that on ATHLEAN-X, and yeah, it's made a big difference in my hip flexors. My hip flexors actually lock a lot, very often, and I can't really pinpoint it, but hip flexors will lock up and it'll be like, but doing that has really opened up my hip flexors, more of a mobile stretch. So we're gonna do, I think I have 3 or 4 supersets lined up. So we're gonna get to it right about now. So this first superset, it doesn't seem like it's easier on your knees, and it's not if you do it incorrectly. But if you do the leg extension by focusing on flexing your quads, not slamming throwing the weight up and locking out your knees, it's not going to hurt your knees. So what I do is occasionally, sometimes I'll either lift my butt off the seat and really focus on the quad flex, or I'll glue my butt into the seat, and it just kind of hits it a little bit differently. Sometimes one way helps me focus on the muscle more than the other, but today I did a little bit of both, and then doing something that basically just elicits burn, makes it burn for longer, like anything with a band, like the sumo walks I was doing. Really low impact. It doesn't add any vertical pressure to your knees, so it's just kind of working on the abductors, which is great. And I made the burn in my quads go longer, which is nice. So on to the second superset. Beautiful thing about a reverse lunge and a box squat is that they don't put as much pressure on your knees. So when you're doing a regular forward lunge, like say this is your knees, you're like pushing against them this way. If you do a reverse lunge, it's much lighter on your knees and it doesn't put that like forward and downward pressure on them. So I'm doing a overhead reverse lunge, and it's actually really good because it helps work your core too. So you have to stay super stable, you have to lock your shoulders out, everything steady, and just take steps back. It's a lot harder than it looks. The last set I did with 45-pound overhead, it's really hard if you don't have good balance, but you'll get better, I promise. And then with box squats, it's a lot easier because you aren't, again, like you don't have the temptation to go forward on your knees or your knees to buckle in as much because your toes are pretty far out. And it helps me focus on my glutes, which is what your girl's trying to hit anyway. So box squats are awesome. Great way to build strength too if that's what your goals are. It's a good mix like that, and pause squats along with full range squats are great as well. So this is my second superset, and now I'm gonna move on to my third. And I think it's my last like leg superset, but it's been like 45 minutes so far, so. If you're doing it right, your glutes are gonna burn like all hell. If you're doing it wrong, you might feel in your glutes, you feel a lot in your quads, a lot in your hamstrings, but if your glutes are on fire, that's what you want. It's taking me forever for some reason. The last thing I'm gonna do is calves, because I've noticed that my calves are really underdeveloped compared to the rest of my body. So I should probably hit them more than once every 2 months.
Dipping in the bins with the spoilers, dipping in the bins with the spins, dipping in the bins with the spoilers, dipping in the bins with the spins.
As we proceed to give you what you need, it's all wrapped up now. What the fuck y'all gonna do next?
Puffy, hold me down, baby.
Excuse me, is this yours?
I didn't do that.
I think this is yours.
I didn't do that. If you were to have 100 grams of it, it only has 2,144 calories per bar, 100 grams.
We are back home. It is the next day. Granted, I did want to end the video there. We didn't eat the chocolate, don't worry. That was the workout. It actually ended up taking me like an hour and a half. I take fairly decent rest periods unless I'm going in with the mindset of like, I want to bang this out. I'm going to take no rest periods. My heart rate's going to be super high. And that just wasn't my focus at this particular day. But if you do that and you take really short rest periods, that is a workout you can probably get done in under an hour. If you're going as fast, you might not be able to do as much weight as you normally would, but just keep those things in mind.
That hurt so bad.
Anyway, just keep that in mind. Lifting is not something that I can just give up. I don't know what it would do to my body if I did. I don't know. I don't want to know. But lifting is what keeps me sane. It's what keeps me always feeling like I'm being productive. Like at the end of the day, I've gone to the gym, and that is something. And that's one thing that I try to tell all my clients too. Even if they're going through something, they have that as like a release. I'm trying to work around these injuries. I don't know if they're even injuries. They're just like my body is just agitated, and my knees might be hurting due to a million things. A lot of friends have said I need to be doing active release therapy on my quads because I train my quads so much, and all of that is connected. For me personally, once I stopped doing hip thrusts, my hips felt better. I'm sorry to everybody out there who loves hip thrusts. I even have my clients do hip thrusts, but for me personally, it's just not the best exercise, and that's okay. Maybe I just haven't had the proper padding on it. So if you have like a big squishy pad, that shouldn't hurt your hips. So all things to take into account. So it's just a challenge. I need to find other ways to build my glutes. And so ideally I can end up finding all of that out as I go and giving it to you guys. So hip thrusts are still a fantastic exercise. Just don't go too heavy If you can't feel it in your glutes, that's a sign that you are too heavy. So drop the weight, drop the ego, and focus on the movement. Focus on your glutes if you are doing hip thrusts. So I do hip bridges now, and where I keep my upper body on the ground. I have, like you guys saw, I have a dumbbell on my hips, and then I have a band on. So I'm focusing on the outer part of my glutes, my glute maximus, everything, and really focusing on the contraction. And it burns like all hell, which I think I said. And on a different note, I get a lot of questions about how I originally built my legs. So I'll put some pictures up, but my quads have a tri-split. You can see every muscle in my quads, basically. Even when I'm not that lean, which is, I think, is interesting. And people are always like, is that your genetics? Is that how you train? And honestly, I think it is less due to genetics, because if you guys have seen my transformation story, you know that I was not fit. I just started lifting like 2.5 years ago, so in the grand scheme of time, that's not that long. So I really think it's more due to the way that I have trained my entire training career, I guess you could call it. And when I first started training, I hammered my quads. Like I trained hamstrings sometimes, I didn't really train glutes. It was really a lot of like just squats, leg extensions, sissy squats, leg press in a million different angles and things like that. And I think that really built the foundation for my quads, and now I've just kept that up, and I'm just improving from here. So when I was in prep last time, I really had to hit my hamstrings. So now I have nice hamstrings. They're getting better every day, but I had to hammer on my hamstrings, and now I'm hammering on my glutes, and they've grown so much in the past, I don't know, I'll say year. I used to have like a pancake butt, no shape at all, and now it's coming. So I wanted to create something for you guys to actually use. If you're in the gym and you haven't really seen any progress in your legs, I know for a lot of girls that's like I know a lot of people that come to me, that's their main point of like lacking confidence, I guess. They don't want to wear shorts, they don't like their legs, they don't like their butt. And so I created a training program that's lower body focused. It doesn't include upper body, it's lower body 3 days a week. And I want to create it for you guys. And so if you're interested in getting that, I'm actually posting it on my website today. So go find the link in the description box below and go get on it. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to email me always, ragofitness@gmail.com. Check that out. Start building yourself some bomb-ass legs. If you're new, make sure that you hit subscribe. And if you're old, make sure you like the video. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you, and I will see you on Monday.